When a man came forward 2 years ago confessing to 3 cold case murders, Albuquerque police called it a gift to victims' families. But how those confessions were obtained could be thrown out in court. KRQE investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhart has been following the case of accused serial killer Paul Apodaca and has the latest from a court hearing that could wipe away those confessions.
In a way, that was a gift from the Albuquerque Police Department to her on her birthday, that somebody who killed her 33 years later was charged.
Albuquerque Police Chief Harold Medina 2 years ago announced an end to the cold case murder of Althea Oakley from 1988, charging Paul Apodaca on what would be her 55th birthday.
They thought we were on our way to tell them that the case would permanently be closed forever and that it wasn't going to be solved.
In July 2021, seemingly out of the blue, Apodaca confessed to 3 cold case murders to UNM police officers. 21-year-old Althea Oakley in 1988, 13-year-old Stella Gonzalez that same year, and 18-year-old Caitlin Arquette in 1989.
Yeah, I know sometimes it feels good to get some things off your chest. But, before we do that, I want to make sure you understand your constitutional rights, okay?
That confession and Apodaca's constitutional rights were the center of today's court hearing. Apodaca's defense wants his confessions thrown out ahead of trial, arguing they were unconstitutionally obtained since the initial university police officers Apodaca confessed to didn't read him his rights.
Just to be clear, you never detained Mr. Apodaca?
No, I didn't.
Do you have handcuffs?
Yes, I did.
You never utilized handcuffs?
No, I didn't.
Today, Judge Cindy Leos heard from those witnesses who initially made contact with Apodaca the day he confessed. UNM security and police officers described Apodaca as tired and dirty, sitting outside UNM's Children's Psychiatric Hospital when they checked on him.
Open your eyes, take a deep breath.
But when he started confessing to murders, the officers say they called APD's cold case unit. In a motion to suppress evidence, defense attorneys now argue Apodaca was in need of medical treatment and deprived of rights.
You have the right to remain silent.
But the state argued paramedics did check on Apodaca, and APD's cold case detective Jody Gonterman did read him his rights as soon as she realized he was confessing to murders he claimed he committed.
What does that mean?
I don't have to speak.
Right. It means you don't have to speak.
Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE Investigates.
Today's motion hearing lasted 3.5 hours, and the judge still needs to hear more arguments to decide whether the confession will be tossed. Today's hearing will pick back up at another date next month. Apodaca is scheduled to go to trial in November.